Hi everyone and welcome to my first ever YouTube video with Yoga Flow with Jo. This is a nice gentle flow. When you're ready, we'll begin at the back of our mat in a child's pose of your choice, whether it's knees together. I'm going to take mine wide with the big toes touching just because my hips are pretty sore today. I'm going to sit back on my heels and then I'm going to start to bring my chest down towards the mat. Walking the fingertips away and then maybe seeing if the forehead can come down. Starting off this practice, just taking some nice deep breaths in through the nose and out through the nose. If you're familiar with Ujjayi breathing, I would invite you to practice that throughout the course of this class. So that's the deep oceanic breath. We close off the back of the throat. And as you're staying here in your child's pose, I invite you to start to walk those fingertips a little further away from the body and lifting those elbows up from the mat if they aren't already. Feeling that nice stretch through the back of the shoulders, into the shoulder blades, top of the ribs. You can also take a gentle rock with the forehead left to right here. Coming to stillness once again. This time dropping the elbows to the mat, allowing the hands to join, so that prayer position, and bringing the hands behind the head here. Snuggling those elbows in close to the head. And just noticing how the stretch changes through the back of the arms and the shoulders. Deep breaths. And then placing the palms back to the earth, this time coming up onto the fingertips, so a little tent for the hands. And again, just noticing how that feels now through the back. And then as you have your fingers planted on the mat, see if you can take a loop of the shoulders forward and back and squeeze those shoulder blades together to deepen that stretch. Beautiful. Planting the palms down, lifting the head and walking the fingertips over to the left. Bringing the head back down. And there's an option here to maybe creep the right fingertips further away from the body. Finding that deep stretch through the right side body and deep into the ribs. You can also place the right hand on top of the left and just see where you feel the better stretch here. Trying to keep those sit bones anchored to the heels or towards the heels as close as possible. Take one more breath here. Inhale. Full exhale. Planting firmly down through the left hand. Bring your head and shoulders up. As we inhale, we're going to take the right arm up to the sky, keeping in that circular motion, taking it all the way behind, exhaling down. Inhale up. Exhale down and back around. So just nice circular motions, warming up through the shoulders here. And every time you come forward, see if you can reach those right fingertips further away. We'll take one more. Beautiful. And then walking ourselves over to the right. And then creeping the left fingertips further forward this time as we bring the right forehead down, anchoring through that left hip. So keeping that left sit bone grounded. Option to place the left hand on top of the right Or if it feels better, creeping those left fingertips further away from the body. Finding that deep stretch through the left side now. Breathing deeply. Inhale. Exhale completely. And ground through the right hand. As we inhale, take the left arm up, back, and around. Inhale to come up. Exhale, take your arm back and around. Reach those fingertips away from the body, finding more length each time as we take this circular motion, warming up through the shoulders. One more. Inhale. And exhale. Beautiful. Walking ourselves back to center, staying in the wide leg. If you had your knees together, everyone bring the knees nice and wide now. We're just going to thread the needle. So you can stay sat on your heels, or if it feels better for you to come more stacked, the hips stacked over the knees, you're welcome to. Planting the left palm firmly onto the mat. Inhale, take the right to the sky. And then exhale, thread it under, allowing you can take a bind, taking the left arm around and behind, maybe looking for that right thigh. Breathing deeply, listening to your body. We're not pushing or forcing, we're just simply warming up here. So if the bind feels too much for your shoulder, please do not take the bind today. Nice long deep breaths. And then just coming back out the way we came in, taking the arm back to the sky. Inhale. Big stretch. And then exhale, we'll change sides. So the right palm comes down. We inhale, take the left to the sky. And then exhale, thread it underneath the right arm, bringing the left shoulder and ear to the mat. Then we can tent those fingertips, shine the elbow to the sky. Option to walk the right hand forward, top of the mat. Or if you would like to take the bind, wrapping it behind the back, looking for that left thigh. Listening to your body, using your breath. If you are in the bind, releasing the bind, walking the hand back into center, planting the palm. As we inhale, we'll take that left arm back to the sky. And then exhale, both hands come down. We're going to walk our fingertips up our legs and take a big loop of the shoulders here, forward, up and back. Inhale, circle the arms up overhead, palms kiss. Exhale, bring the hands down to heart center. Close down the eyes, bow the head to the heart here, and just take a moment for yourself. Take a breath. Beautiful. And we're going to interlace the fingers behind our back here. Squeeze the palms together and then draw those knuckles down and away from the body, really squeezing the shoulder blades together here. Draw the navel into the spine and think about shining the heart space forward. Squeeze the shoulder blades, shine the heart. And then maybe the gaze goes up and we can open through the throat here, but only if that feels good for your neck. Inhale and exhale. One more breath here in and full exhale out. Beautiful. Release the hands, top of the thighs. Take another big loop of the shoulders forward, up and back. And then we're going to make our way onto all fours, finding our tabletop position. So stacking our knees underneath hips, or wrists underneath shoulders here. Elbow creases turn to face the front of the mat. And then we want to really push away from the mat. So really push down into the earth and then draw the navel up to the spine here. So think of this nice flat back. Gaze is down towards the top end of the mat to keep the neck nice and long. And we're going to work through some cat and cow here. So as we inhale, we'll drop the belly, shine the sit bones to the sky and look up. And then as we exhale, we're going to tuck that tailbone under, start to round through the spine and draw the chin into the chest. Inhale to drop the belly, gaze goes up. Exhale, tuck the tailbone, chin to chest. Maybe you close down your eyes here and just really connect the movement to the breath. So in other words, allow the breath to be what moves you. The next time you're in that cow pose, so belly down, gaze up, just take a breath here, an extra breath, pausing, and then visualize trying to pull the hands back towards the knees. So the hands aren't actually going to move, but it's just that action of trying to draw the hands back towards the knees and just see what that feels like in the body. And then exhale to tuck the tailbone under, chin to chest, staying here for a breath. And with this action, I want you to visualize pushing down into the earth through the tops of the feet, the knees, the hands, and just seeing how that feels through the back body. And then come back to that tabletop when you're ready. We'll just start to warm up through the wrists a little. So just taking circles through the hips, allowing the shoulders to gently track past the wrists here. Always being mindful if you do have any wrist issues, injuries. And then reversing the circle. Beautiful. Coming back to that tabletop position. Walking the hands towards the top of the mat, finding our puppy pose. So keeping the knees and the hips in line. Think about melting the heart to the earth. So allow the heart to come down to the mat here. A couple of options. Forehead may touch. Chin may come to the mat. Or you may be a little higher, the forehead not quite touching, but just hovering, as long as we're feeling a stretch through the back of the arms and the shoulders. And then think about really shining those sit bones high to the sky. Allow the belly to be soft here. Couple of nice deep breaths. And then lifting the head back up, pressing into the left palm. You're going to slide the right hand underneath the left, coming into another thread the needle variation. So coming down onto the shoulder and the ear. One more breath, inhale. Full exhale. Nice. And then slowly unraveling, finding that puppy pose for another breath. And then placing the weight into the right palm, lift the head, and take the left hand underneath the right armpit, coming into your thread the needle on the left shoulder. Some nice deep breaths here, still shining those sit bones high. Beautiful. Then unraveling, returning back to that puppy pose again, just for one more breath. Inhale. Full exhale. We're going to lift the head, look forward, and then we're just going to slide onto our bellies here, making our way into Sphinx pose. So we want to stack elbows underneath shoulders, palms spread, fingertips nice and wide, really anchoring down into the earth here. I actually like to take my feet a little bit wider than hip width distance when I'm in Sphinx pose. And then we want to think about drawing the belly button up towards the spine to protect the lower back, pushing the pubic bone into the mat and the tops of our feet, and then not sinking into the shoulders, but we're pushing away. And then think about shining that chest forward. So sliding the heart space through the arms here, and then a gentle tuck of the chin to find that length through the back of the neck. So quite a lot happening in this pose, even though it looks not too difficult. And then when you settle into your Sphinx, taking some nice deep breaths here. So just starting to warm up through the back a little bit more, finding that strength through the lower back. And it's really important to keep that core engaged. So keep drawing the navel back to the spine. Pushing down through the hands, elbows, tops of the feet, pubic bone. On your next inhale, take the gaze past the right shoulder. Exhale back to center. Inhale, gaze past the left shoulder. Exhale back through center. Beautiful. One more breath here. Inhale. And then exhale, we're going to melt completely. Bringing the forehead to the earth. And then sliding the palms back underneath the shoulders. So hands underneath shoulders here. And then walk the feet, the legs back in line with your hips. So we're still pushing down through the pubic bone, tops of the feet and the hands. We're hugging the elbows in. Take a big loop of the shoulders forward, up and back, and squeeze those shoulder blades together. We're going to find our cobra pose, gentle tuck of the chin. Inhale, push down to bring the chest, the shoulders, and the head up. Exhale to melt all the way back to the mat. Two more just like that. Inhale, push and rise. Exhale to melt. Last one, inhale. And exhale, beautiful. Still warming up through the lower back here. Taking the fingertips off the mat. So those tented fingertips. I'm going to shine the elbows to the sky. So still in line with the shoulders here. Tucking the chin into the chest. Pushing down through the tops of the feet and the pubic bone. And drawing the navel to the spine. Slight tuck of the chin. Inhale, we rise. You might find a little bit more height. And then exhale to melt. Two more. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Inhale. And exhale. Beautiful. Bringing the hands back underneath the shoulders. Still working with our cobra warm-ups. This time we're going to hover the hands from the mat. So we're not actually pushing down through the hands. So the lower back is going to do all the work here. So we really need to engage that core. So draw the navel, the belly button up towards the spine. Push down through the tops of the feet and the pubic bone. Roll those shoulders back and away. Squeeze those shoulder blades. Hook the elbows into the side body and hover the hands. A gentle tuck of the chin. Now you're not going to rise as much this time, but as you inhale, use the lower back muscles to rise you up. Exhale to melt. Two more. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. And exhale. Beautiful. Bring the hands in front and make a little pillow for your forehead. Rest the head on the hands and then just gently tick-tock the hips from left to right, releasing any strain that may have happened through the lower back here. And as always in yoga, I do hope you're listening to your body and moving with kindness, not pushing ourselves too much. There should never be pain. Discomfort, yes, but not pain. Right, releasing and coming back. So drawing the hands back underneath the shoulders. Inhale, cobra. Exhale back down. Beautiful. And this time we're going to slide the hands more in line with the rib cage. Think about hugging those elbows into the side body, pressing down through the earth, navel to spine. This time we're going to find our up dog. So we're really going to press down through our tops of the feet here. As we inhale, push down into the hands, come onto the tops of the feet, and then think about shining the chest forward, shining our heart space forward. So it's just our hands and the top of the feet that are touching the mat. Inhale. Exhale to melt completely. 2 more just like that. Really hug the elbows into the side body. Squeeze the shoulder blades. Inhale. Shine the heart. Exhale. Last one. Inhale. And exhale. Beautiful. Hands back underneath shoulders. Tuck the toes. And we're going to inhale, push up to plank or kneeling plank. And then exhale. Send those hips high and back for our first downward dog. Pedaling your dog out when you get there. Stretching out through the back of the legs. Bending one knee. And then the other. And then one knee. And then the other. And then come to find stillness in your down dog. Bend through the knees and lift the heels. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, think about drawing the chest back to the thighs and the sit bones high to the sky. Pressing down through the fingertips here. Take another inhale. And as you exhale, start to melt the heels towards the ground. Beautiful. We're going to start to warm up even more through the spine and a little bit through the arms and the shoulders here, doing our down dog to plank rolls. So as you inhale, think about rolling through the spine, bringing those shoulders over wrists, and then to exhale, bend through the knees, arch the back, send the sit bones back to the heels, and then finding your down dog. So inhale to ripple forward, round through the spine, plank pose. Exhale, bend the knees, arch through the back, down dog. Inhale, plank, exhale, down dog. Couple more, inhale, plank pose, exhale, your down dog. Last one, inhale, and exhale. Beautiful. From your downward dog, take a releasing breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. And slowly lower the knees back to the earth, finding your tabletop position. Take a break off the wrist if you need to. Otherwise, from your tabletop position, taking the right foot up behind us, we're going to work through some hip circles here. So drawing the knee out into the body and then back around. So as we work through our hip circles, trying to keep the rest of the body still, pushing down through left palm, right palm evenly. And reversing your hip circle. Last one. And then hugging that right knee into the chest, rounding through the spine here. Really hug the knee, hug, hug, hug. And then step the right foot in between the hands. Heel toe it there if you need to, or help it along the way. Finding our low lunge, Anjanasana. So knee over ankle. Nice and light on the fingertips. And think about shining the heart space. So leading with the heart again. I also like to think about gluing my ribs on top of my thighs. So that rib to thigh connection. Take an inhale. And an exhale. Adding a little bit of movement. So inhale to look forward. And then exhale. Still think about gluing that rib to thigh as we slowly come back, stacking the hips over that left leg, shining the right toes to the sky for our low lunge. Sorry, our half split. Feeling the stretch through the back of the right leg here. The knee can be bent to start with. And then we'll just keep flowing with this movement. So inhale, low lunge. Exhale, half split. Inhale. Exhale, keeping that rib to thigh connection. Think about your cat-cow here. So shine the chest, look up as you find your low lunge. And then round through the spine, chin to chest as you find your half split. Couple more here. And the next time you're back in that half split, just staying here for a breath. Sliding the hands underneath the shoulders here. Inhale, lift the heart, look forward. And then exhale, forward folding over that right leg. Getting deeper into the hamstrings. And then when you're ready, slowly coming back to find that low lunge. This time we're going to bring the right hand inside of the right foot and just heel toe that right foot out to the edge. Finding our lizard here. You can stay with the back knee down or you can lift that back leg. And if you do have the back leg lifted, think about really driving the kneecap up to the sky and pushing the heel away. So that back leg still wants to remain pretty active here. And then you can add some gentle movement forward and back or side to side. Maybe you gently push the right knee away with the right hand, coming onto the outer edge of the right foot. Maybe if your hips are feeling pretty good, you can come down onto elbows here. As I said, my hips are feeling pretty tight today, so I'm going to stay nice and high. But there's always these options available for you. And then taking some nice solid deep breaths. Take one more breath. Full exhale. And then if the back knee is lifted, slowly lowering it back down. Walking the right foot back into center. And we'll just take a twist here. So plant the left palm down. Inhale, take the right to the sky. And then think about pulling that right hip back and stacking the knee over the ankle. So that knee has a tendency to spill out when we take a twist. So you want to keep it hugged in, pulling that hip back. Breathing here, inhale. Exhale, hand comes down. And then we're just going to take that right foot back to our tabletop position. And then take whatever movement feels good, whether it's circles, shaking the hips from left to right. Maybe you take a little break off the wrists here. Just finding some natural organic movement that feels nice for you. And then when you're ready, we'll take it to the left side. So tabletop position, push the earth away, navel to spine. Inhale, take the left leg back. Finding our hip circles on the left side. Trying to keep the rest of the body still and weight distributed evenly left and right. Reversing those circles if you haven't already. And then squeezing, so hugging that knee into the chest, rounding through the back here. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze the knee. And then step it in between our hands, finding our low lunge, knee over ankle. Shining the chest, inhale. Exhale. So think about pulling that left hip back, right hip forward. And then we'll add some slow movement. So rocking back to find that half split. Shining the toes to the sky here. And trying to keep this alignment with the right hip stacked over the right knee. And then we'll come forward, low lunge. Inhale. Exhale, half split. Think about that rib to thigh connection. Inhale forward. Exhale back. Inhale forward, shine the chest, look up. Exhale back. Chin to chest, round through the spine. Couple more with your own breath. And then the next time you find yourself in that half split, just pausing there, sliding the palms underneath the shoulders. Inhale to grow tall, so find that length, shine the chest. And then exhale, folding forward. So we're trying to keep the left leg straight here, but obviously working with your range of movement. If that stretch through the back of the left leg is super intense, you can obviously bend the knee here. Nice deep breaths. And then when you're ready, slowly coming back to that low lunge as we take the left hand inside of the left foot, heel toe that foot out to find our lizard pose. And again, that back knee can stay low, stay on the ground, or we can lift it. Shining that kneecap high to the sky. So think about engaging the knee and then driving that heel back and away. Pushing down into the earth. And then taking some movement here if that feels nice. Or maybe you're in stillness. Option to push the left knee away. Coming onto the outer edge of that left foot. And then always the option to come onto the elbows. But again, just listening to how you feel today. Breathing deeply. And then if the back leg is lifted, lowering the knee to the earth. Heel toeing that left foot back to center, and we'll take that twist. So right palm anchors to the mat. Inhale, we take the left to the sky. And then just take a gaze down at that left knee. Make sure it's still over the ankle. Hug that left hip back, right hip forward. Inhale. Exhale, hand down. Take your knee back to that tabletop position. And then take some movement that feels good on your body right now. And then we'll all just take a quick rest in child's pose. Coming back to tabletop when you're ready, tucking those toes under and sending the hips high and back for our down dog. Bring the big toes to touch. Anchor through the left heel here. Inhale, take the right to the sky. Open through the hips here, so think about stacking the right hip on top of the left. Pushing down through the right palm, squaring off through the shoulders here. Inhale. Exhale, bend that right knee, and then we're going to draw the knee to the right elbow. Slide that knee all the way down to the right wrist and find your pigeon pose on the right side. So walk that left leg back. Make any adjustments here that you need to. And just make sure the left leg's in alignment with your hip. And then inhale, use the fingertips here to grow tall. And then exhale, allow the heart to melt. Coming down, maybe to forearms. Maybe you make that little pillow with your hands for your head. Or maybe it feels really good to fully melt to the earth. You can always bring the palms together and take them up overhead, having that stretch through the arms and the shoulders. Breathing deeply here. Option also to thread the left arm underneath the right. So coming onto that left shoulder, left ear. This does really intensify the stretch through the right hip and the glute, so do be mindful if you are taking this variation. Breathing deeply. Just sending the breath to wherever feels tight. And allowing the breath to do the work for us. So each inhale, send the breath, and then with each exhale, visualize the muscle releasing and relaxing. Giving us more space, more length. And then if you have threaded the needle, just unthreading. And then everyone walking the cells back up. And then making your way back to your down dog. Option to take a three-legged dog if that feels good. Just to stretch out that right leg. Maybe you take a few ankle rolls. And then bringing the foot back to the earth. Big toes to touch. Anchor through the right inhale. Take the left to the sky and then stack the left hip on top of the right this time. Think about squaring off through the shoulders, drawing the chest closer to the thighs. Inhale. Exhale, bend that top knee and then draw the knee to the left elbow. And then slide the knee down to the left wrist. And find your pigeon pose left side. Glance back at the right leg. Make sure it's in line with the hips. Inhale to grow tall. Exhale to lead with the heart. And find whatever variation feels good on this side. You might have one side more open than the other, which is perfectly normal. As I said, I'm pretty tight, specifically on my right side today, so I do feel like I can go a little bit deeper on this left side. And then we're here for a good few solid breaths. Using your breath, releasing tension, tightness, inviting length, space. And then if you took the thread the needle on the other side, it's the right arm underneath the left this time, coming on. Walk ourselves back up. Taking our downward dog, the option for that three-legged dog is always there as well. And maybe taking a few ankle rotations. And then releasing the foot down. Taking a releasing breath here in through the nose. And out through the mouth. Beautiful. Bend through the knees, lift those heels, look forward. And we'll crisscross the feet to the top. So crossing the legs from one side of the mat to the other. Walking slowly until you make your way to the top of the mat, finding your forward fold here. And when you get there, exhale completely. Allow those ribs to connect back to the thighs. And then there's a few options here. You can interlace the fingers, bring them to the back of the neck, the head, hug the elbows into the body, and just allow gravity to help decompress the spine here. You can have a bend in the knees. You can interlace, so you can take hold of opposite elbows and sway gently from left to right, bending through one knee then the other. And final option is simply just to hang loose. Allow the neck, the head, the shoulders to be loose here. Whatever variation you have taken. Coming to stillness when you're ready and releasing the fingertips down to the earth. Take an inhale. And with your exhale, see if you can shine the sit bones higher to the sky. Visualize someone pulling your hips up and back. So start to straighten through the back of the legs here. Maybe you take hold of the back of the ankles, the calves, and gently draw yourself closer to your legs. Beautiful. Slowly release. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. And from here, bring the fingertips to the earth. Heel toe the feet out to mat width and allow the toes to spill off as you gently bring yourself into your malasana, your yogi squat here. So think about pressing the elbows into the knees and the knees back into the elbows, drawing that tailbone underneath and lifting through the pelvic floor here. So we want that squeeze and lift. Navel to spine, chest proud, inhale. Exhale. Beautiful. Then hands down behind you as we slowly lower ourselves to the mat. Take the legs out nice and long here. Legs can be together or hip width distance. Toes shining to the sky. Inhale, take the arms up. And then exhale from the hips. So visualize the hips moving. Start to reach the hands towards the toes. Finding your forward fold here. Maybe the hands take hold of the back of the knees, calves, ankles. Maybe you can reach your toes. Option to take peace fingers around the big toe. And you can always have that micro bend through the knees here. And then just allow your breath. Inhale. Exhale. See if you can come a little closer. Inhale, pull yourself closer to your toes. Exhale, melt the heart closer to the knees. One more inhale. And exhale. Beautiful. Slowly roll up when you're ready. And then walk the feet in, take hold of the backs of the thighs. And slowly lower yourself to your back. And then draw the knees into the chest when you get there. Flex through the feet and gently rock side to side. Massaging out through the lower back, the hips. You can also take a circular motion here and massage into the glutes. And then we'll take a happy baby. We're taking hold of the outer edges of the feet here. And then sending the feet high to the sky, using the hands to gently add some weight to draw the knees down towards the armpits. When you get there, I want you to then visualize dropping the tailbone to the mat. You can stay here. You can gently rock from left to right. You can straighten one leg and then the other. Or you can just be in stillness, maybe taking peace fingers onto toes. Using the breath, slowing it down. And then hugging those knees back into chest when you're ready. And then stacking the knees over the hips, flex through the feet. Take the arms out wide into a T-shape, palms up. Inhale. Exhale, allow the knees to gently fall to the right. For your supine twist, maybe the gaze goes over the left shoulder. You can stay here. You can use the right hand to gently add some weight onto the left leg. You can straighten the left leg, maybe take hold of the foot. A couple of options for your twist. You do have the leg straight, just rebending it, releasing the foot. With an inhale, draw the navel to the spine. And then exhale, bring the knees back through center. Restack them over the hips. Inhale. Exhale, allow them to go to the left. Again, maybe you take a few variations here using the right hand on top of the thigh. Maybe you straighten through the right leg. Maybe the gaze goes past the right arm. If you do have the right leg straight, just rebending it now. Inhale. Exhale, back through center. Draw the knees into the chest. One last time, give yourself a nice big squeeze. Maybe you lift the nose to the knees here and point through the toes. And then when you're ready, finding Shavasana. Maybe it's legs out long, nice and wide. Maybe it's soles of the feet together in Supta Baddha Konasana. Or maybe you bend through the knees and allow the knees to gently fall into one another. Taking any variation that feels good for you as we finish our practice in this restful final pose, Shavasana. Squeeze those shoulder blades together. Line the palms to the sky. Close down the eyes. And take a big deep inhale. And with your exhale, melt yourself into the mat. On your next breath, send it deep into the belly. Feel the belly expand, and then a slow release through the mouth. Exhale. Start to bring soft, gentle movement back into the body. Maybe you take a full body stretch. Maybe you hook those knees into the chest. And then when you're ready, gently roll to the right side. Pause there just for a moment. Inhale. Full exhale. And then keeping the eyes soft or closed, gently making our way up to a comfortable seat of our choice, where we'll end this practice together. Inhale, the arms up overhead, palms kiss. As we exhale, bring the hands down to heart center. Tucking the chin into the chest, bowing the head to the heart, and thanking yourself for showing up on the mat, for practicing with me, Jo. Hope you have a lovely day. Namaste.